What's up everyone, Dragon here. Welcome back to another Wuthering Waves video. Today is more of a topic and discussion that I wanted to have with you guys over what truly makes a good character, a quality character, and something that resonates with people to grab their attention into pulling for them in a gacha game. And I was thinking about this because I saw a couple of posts that were talking about certain characters from Wuthering Waves looking very similar or having similar aesthetics to other gacha game characters that already existed. And it kind of irked me that people were thinking so ignorant about something that's so simple. But then it got me thinking, maybe people just don't understand the way that concepts or characters are created when it comes to pulling people's attention in. So I made a list of certain topics around what makes a character good that I wanted to go over. And I hope you guys enjoy this. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We do Wuthering Waves content on a daily or every other day basis and other gacha games as well in the future. So first up on my list was attracting players. Like what creates a unique and visual experience that can grab a new player or a current player's attention enough to make them want to save for this banner or potentially spend money for the first time or spend money again for this banner. And it got me thinking in terms of books actually, and fantasy books, and the way that I feel a lot of people have come to love and enjoy certain characters was through, or certain concepts of characters really has been through storytelling that we've already consumed in our past. So a lot of times when you are growing up or when you are experiencing like a superhero for the first time or an anime for the first time, usually your first or second or third experience within a genre, you're gonna want to find internally, you're gonna want to find someone that you resonate with, someone that you feel is the character that you like the most because of X, Y, and Z. It can be for whatever reasons that resonate with you as a person or resonate with certain events or something that's happened in your life. So the emotional attachment is there. Now we have something of a physical attachment. So depending on how you personality that you have in life, a lot of times we generate this ideal image. The best way that I can think to describe this is if you were to play D&D, how would you create your perfect character? And a lot of times I guarantee 100% whatever character that you create or you envision is probably very similar to a lot of your favorite characters that you like to choose in gacha games or fighting games or animes and stuff like that. I promise you they probably resonate with one another. So attracting the player because there's certain genres or styles of characters and stuff that already exist is just the first thought process that I personally would think to have if I was designing a character to grab attention. Is this character unique? Yes, unique does not mean that they are 100% something new that no one's ever thought of ever in existence. No. For example, the character Zhao, I believe, is the little green-haired dragon boy from Genshin Impact. Awesome character model, like really cool looking design. And then people were saying that Ji Yun from Wuthering Waves was just a rip-off of him. I beg to differ. There is a huge different in just overall the aspect of the character in general, like just the physical demeanor in which the character stands and carries their weapon, the facial expressions. Like if you've watched both of their backstories, I mean they're it's different, but okay, I will give it to them. There is enough similarities that would cause concerns, I would say, but it's not something to be worried about because when they created this character, they had something in mind. Just because we don't know it yet makes us want to be apprehensive and just say that, oh, they're copying. Well, we need to learn about this character's lore, this backstory, and everything like that, because it has to be able to fit into the world and the aesthetic that they're building for the world as well. So it's not just about the character looking similar and everything like that. Man, you and I could wear this same, Legend of Zelda shirt and have the same haircut, and then we could have completely different personalities. Just because we're wearing the same thing or we look same haircut and stuff like that doesn't make us a knockoff of one another. We could have never met ever in life. But we'll be frank here. Obviously, Genshin Impact was a huge success. It is 100% in the same genre and everything like that. So could there have been similarities that were taken for inspiration? 100%. Is there anything wrong with that? Not at all. It means that they appreciated it and they respected what was already created and they wanted to build upon it in their own image. This right here is the attraction to players. You have something that has already succeeded. Take for like Dragon Ball Z or Fist of the North Star or Bleach or Naruto or any of these certain things. If you go down the line of new animes, I guarantee at some point you're going to run into something that's very similar, copy and paste, or at least a yank and twist, whatever they call it. It's just about attracting someone in, and then you give your own diversity and spin to it. That's pretty much where I am with attracting players to it. It's just basically encouraging players to explore and engage inside of the gacha aspect of the game. And what better way to do that is to create a character that resonates with someone out there. Not every single character is going to resonate with every single player. It's just how it is. Just like every single main protagonist of an anime is not going to resonate with every single person watching anime in general. Just because you like anime doesn't mean you like all of them. So the attraction, the appeal is something that's there. Second, I put emotional connection, and I kind of went over that a little bit, but I think it's something that's important along with the physical aesthetic of the character as well, is like their personality. Because emotional connection nowadays, especially that people are a little bit more, a little bit braver, I guess, or which is a good thing, a little bit braver to just share emotional output and input within the world now that we have social media, which is toxic and also good all at the same time. We have a way to express things that allow us to feel a little bit of comfort doing that. And so one of the cool things is that I am in love with dragons. I mean, I have a lot more than this, but this is just a small little representation. My channel name, just the aesthetic of everything that I like has always been dragons. And it was like almost I was born into that because of the year that I was born and the year of the dragons. And it was just something that I grew up enjoying and loving. So any character that ever comes out with the aesthetic of like dragons or just that ferocious kind of demeanor, I usually enjoy them a lot because it just hits home with me. It's who I characterize myself as a person, someone that's kind of like a protector and a lover to family. I love my family and stuff like that. I want to protect them. And I feel like dragons, although they are portrayed as like ferocious beasts and stuff like that, a lot of times if you read into mythology and culture and everything like that, they're just protecting something. They're like a protector, the ultimate protector. So emotional connection is important because when you have characters that portray things that are similarities to you, then you tend to want to gradually go towards those characters. As in Wuthering Waves, we have a large variety of cast of different people or characters already that allows for different personalities of people to come into this community, come into this game and enjoy it in their own pace because of the characters and stuff that are coming out. Not every character has to be a hit on a gacha system for us to pull on every single one because it's just impossible. Where the company would probably want it to be, which is understandable, it's just impossible because not every character is developed equally with the same, personality or the same aesthetics and everything that every single person is going to like. Like for myself, I'm not really a big fan of the smaller, shorter, younger, chibi looking characters and stuff like that. Although I do appreciate those aesthetics. They look pretty cool and stuff like that. It's just not something that would get me to spend money. Whereas the goofy character like Alto, because he's very goofy and then he's very serious at the same time. Like he gets stuff done, but he has a funny way about it. That's kind of my personality too. It's one of the sides of my personality. I enjoy that stuff. I have fun with it, you know? It resonates with me. And so emotional connection is definitely one of the things that I feel is a very important thing when creating a good character. Of course, gacha appeal. Like I said, those things come into play with each other. The gacha appeal, the emotional connection, and attracting players is all kind of the pinnacle of those. I guess the three things that would visualize a character and get you connected to it before knowing their lore or backstory or anything like that. Monetization strategy, unique characters designs can be monetized through microtransactions. Obviously, that's just the gacha system. And getting players to spend on these certain characters because they've built attractions to them, physical or emotional, is something that I feel is important when building a character. Like, take for example Link from Zelda. Actually, a great example. They didn't even have to write dialogue for this character, and people fell in love with him because of his physical aesthetic and the journey that he takes to accomplish his task. And this is something that's very important whenever it comes to gacha games, because a lot of times we're getting visuals of characters before we even get to know their personalities or their backstory or the lore and stuff like that that goes along with them. So it's something that's very important right up front, is building a character that has aesthetic value. And I think the next thing that I'm going into, it branches off into aesthetic value in a couple different ways, which is diversity, which could be like different culturals of different characters. So different characters from like different countries, different cultures, different mythologies, different backstories and stuff like that, different skin color, different voices or different languages they speak. And then we can dive into a little bit more mechanical side, is just having characters that have different skill sets. So do you play this character, you know, mashing one button all the time and then their ultimate comes up and you do big damage? Or do you play this character dodging all the time and you're countering every single time? So the different play style is also like a diversity attraction into building a great character as well. Like where we have Link. The attraction to me when I want to play a new Zelda game is two things. One is I can't wait to explore the new world, and two, I can't wait to see what new items I get to use with Link inside the game, like new weapons and new items, because that's the way that the game built its exploratory world, the way that the system works and everything. So when it comes to gacha games like Wuthering Waves, the things that we're going to be looking forward to when these new characters come out is going to be, how deep is their backstory? Like, how much depth do they have within this world to make me connected to them and make me want to call them my main on my account? Because gacha games are like that. We have main characters, like fighting games. You have a main character you resonate with, you like their skills and combos and stuff, blah, blah, blah. So diversity is important because we have all different cultures, religions, different ways of life, and everyone playing these games in one community. So we have to have like some kind of diversity, or companies need to have some kind of diversity. They don't always do, which is up to the company, I guess, and up to the world that we're getting to play it in. Is it something that's smart to do? 100%. I think it would draw the attention of a lot more people into the game that would appreciate not only the aesthetics, would appreciate the world and the lore as well. When it comes to diversity, we also have recognition of the brand. The Kuro games, like what kind of recognition or what kind of brand recognition do they want for these characters? So when they design a character, they put out this character that is representing their company. It's representing the people who created this game. It's representing the world in which they developed. It's representing the employees that worked on this, whether it's an artistic value, whether it's the physical skill, the way that they look, how flashy it is, the initial concept designer or concept person who thought of the idea, and then the person who is taking all these ideas, aesthetics, the cosmetics of the character, the skills and everything, and then they're fitting them into the lore. So it's like, it's not just one person created a character and just having this lore created and having this skills created and all this stuff. It's a team of people that are developing these characters to put it into the world that's living, breathing to them, and making sure that they fit. not only do they fit in the world, they want them to fit into our hearts. They want them to fit into our wallets, and they want them to fit into our mindsets of saying, hey, this character right here, I resonate with them the most. This is going to be my main character. I can't wait for them to come out. You go on Twitter, you go on YouTube, we make some videos about it on content. We go on Reddit, we talk about it. We go on Discord and talk about it with friends, sharing everything like that. So when it comes to making these characters, diversity, brand recognition, and monetization strategy, they're very important, especially in gacha games. The artistic quality, like I had talked about, is very important. Higher quality is always something better. Usually with games, gacha games and everything like that, if you see the progression from start to like year 1 or year 2, you tend to see a trend of quality of the game not only getting better, but the quality of the characters getting better, along with the more, I would say, more depth in the way that stories are told with the characters that are coming out, because they get comfortable. Like a company gets comfortable and they get brave to adventure into new territories of storytelling that fit their world, which is great. It offers us new experiences. It offers us more value to the new characters that are coming out. And also it offers all of the players just new, unique experiences with different characters and different stories being told. We went over storytelling. That was one of them in there. Community engagement was basically what I was saying right now, is that just allowing for something to spark your interest. Like, for example, the announcement of the CBT2 with the new character that was holding that, or actually the new character that had those rings around her. I'll have her in the thumbnail so you'll know who I'm talking about. I do not know her name, I apologize. But her right there, it got people talking. It got people wanting to know what her backstory was, how she connected to the rover, how she connected to the main character, how she connected to the world. And it got people talking about it. They're posting it on Twitter, they're posting it on YouTube, anywhere and everything. Like I was saying, it's just, that's another part of building a good character, is getting us as the community to do free marketing. Basically, we're just talking about it because we enjoy it. Okay, the next part I wanted to go over, that was long-winded, I apologize. This is going to be probably another 10-15 minute longer video, so buckle up, we in for the ride. If not, I'll probably put some like little what are they called, I don't know, the things that tell you the time where the different parts of the video are at. I can't even think right now. I had a long day at work, but let's get to this. Okay, so character design is a powerful tool for storytelling. It can convey a wealth of information about a character's personality, background, role, and narrative. And basically, I made a list of things that I think to me are the most important when I see a new character, what gets me to spend money, and what are the ones that I say hard skip. So first and foremost, when it comes to making a great character, just like it comes to making a great presentation of yourself in life, is your appearance and your clothing. You are visualized, or you are thought about first and foremost with your appearance. So when you meet someone for the first time, before we even get to speak to them and learn that they're a great person, or fall in love with them, or whatever it is that we're doing within that meeting, or trust them or don't trust them, or whatever it is, the first thing we see is a physical appearance and clothing. These are things that just inherent as humans, we see this, whether it's right or wrong, it's programmed into us. We shouldn't be doing that. Whatever it is, it's what happens. It's a psychological thing that we see someone and we notice their appearance. If they're well groomed, do they look hygienic? Do they look like they take care of themselves? All these different things. Is their clothing something that's really expensive and we have to feel like we have to act a certain way or talk a certain way? Or is it, on par with us? We can feel more comfortable and laid back and just talk however we want. Or do we have to be on guard? Like, all of these things is just a natural a thing that happens, a natural instinct that happens through us when we physically see something for the first time. So same thing with the character. When I first started looking into Wuthering Waves, The literal microsecond that I saw Gion, I said 100%, my man, that is my main right there. This dude is so damn gangster with this color scheme and that spear. I still don't know why he's holding a sword till today, because he don't even damn use it, but for one little slash or two slashes, put that shit up and just use the spear. The spear, not sphere. But anyways, those things excited me. And like I said, the color palette was one of them. It conveys an environmental and emotional, like a dramatic element to the character that just extends more of their being outwards. Their especially in anime and games and stuff like that, because the character is always wearing the same costume, or maybe one or two different ones, but they have depth to it. Whereas like I'm 90% of the time, if I'm not going out with my wife and she's forcing me to dress up and look nice so I can be presentable, I'm 90% of the time wearing something that represents me, inside of me, my heart, my soul, something that I care about. Because if I wasn't wearing something that I cared about, I would feel like I was pretending to be someone that I'm not. And that's not who I am. I like to express this. No matter where I go, I'm always talking about it. I'm always expressing it. I'm always having it to be a part of me and stuff. You can call it obsessive. You can call it addicted or whatever you want. But these things to me is like, you surround yourself with something you love, you'll never be unhappy. If you are like obsessed with something, you can be obsessed in a good way. It doesn't have to be a negative obsession. Like, anyways, if you enjoy the way an aesthetic looks, it draws you into it. It makes you want to know more about that character or get that character just because of the way they look. You don't care about what their backstory is. You'll love it regardless. So the appearance, clothing, color palette, and like accessories that they wear on their clothes. Like I was saying, that sword, it's tripping me out because my man slashes with it one or two times and then he's out there clapping cheeks with the spear. So these things, I pay attention to them, and most of you guys do as well, because that's what makes a character your favorite, is because you're paying attention to these tiny little details because you fell in love with that character. You resonate with that character. It's a part of you now. It's who you want to explore the world with. You want to use their abilities and friggin' destroy like whatever the hardest boss is with this character because they're your favorite and you can do it. So you put yourself on a mission for that. And I think that's great. It's a good part of storytelling because the character means so much to you. It just adds to the value of it. Along with the color palette and appearance and clothings and everything like that, you have facial expressions, you have body language, and you have symbolism. Facial expressions is a huge thing. It's part of our inherent ability to be humans. We express emotion or we express thoughts through facial expressions. You can show a wide variety of how someone is feeling or what they're thinking by just looking at their face and how they're holding themselves or what face they're making. And so it's important when we see these characters, does their aesthetic and their ambiance of who they are, does their expressions reflect that? And what's great is that I noticed from CBT1 or even the alpha test or anything that was before that, is they improved on that. Wuthering Waves improved on facial expressions, and that's huge because facial expressions mean so much to define a character. It's something that, like I said, it's so much that can be told. A story can be told with just a look. Like, for example, spoilers, if you haven't watched Dragon Ball Super, the first time Goku masters Ultra Instinct and he catches Jiren's little energy ball and absorbs it, like the expressions of the crowd, all of the gods of destruction and all of the angels and everything, you can tell like, oh shit, my man is strong as he leveled up to something that made gods, literal gods, stand up out of their seats and have a blank stare like, yo, what is going on? It tells a lot. For example, another great example of this is My Hero Academia. When Deku was fighting Overhaul, spoilers, and he has Eri on his back, and when he's coming down and all that lightning and stuff is coming from behind him, he's so determined to save her that in the eyes of Chisaki, he saw him as a villain. He had pure fear in the face of danger, because Deku's expression showed that, hey, you're fucking done. I'm clapping these cheeks and we're saving this little girl. That's it. And it's just so important. And I'm glad that they've, I am long-winded today. I apologize. And thank y'all for y'all who kept watching right now. We're about 25 minutes in this bad boy. But the expressions is something that's very important for me when it comes to creating a good character. Body language, same thing. Like I said, you can have someone who looks cute and innocent, but then when they're attacking, it's ferocious and fierce. It hides that freaking god power, demonic power inside them. And I like that too. It alludes to like this hidden aspect of this character that you don't really know. And I like those characters, kind of like Alto. I was talking about him earlier. He's real goofy in his demeanor and everything, and then when he gets to it, he's clapping cheeks instantly. Like friggin' beast mode just turns on, and then he gets right back into the goofiness. These are things that just make for a character, and it's like, damn, I really enjoyed that. I like that character a lot. Okay. Symbolism, obviously. Symbolism is something, like I was saying, like this character portrays the soul of like a dragon. Like he has that symbolism inside of him. His aesthetics and everything, they're very traditional. They're tribal, almost to a sense. They're green. What I felt is they're like a shade of like an ancient jade or something, to just show longevity in life, or just the longevity of knowledge or intelligence, or just he's been through some shit that we're about to find out, and he's jaded. Like he literally is jaded, and they're doing like a play on the color, play on words, whatever. This man is jaded. And it goes for a lot of other characters as well. For example, one of them, like Bailu from Genshin Impact. I mean, not Genshin Impact. From Honkai Star Rail. She's that young little looking dragon girl, but she's freaking 5,000 years old. And it's the horns. Like once they give you the lore and everything, like that's the horns that tell the story. So all of these things are very important to like physical age and symbolism and stuff like that. What's really kind of something that I feel is missed 100% on gacha games is the evolution, change, and aging of characters. I really wish that a lot more games would give us like alternate skins and like kind of like almost like a flashback style like event or something for the character, so we can get younger versions of the character or older versions of the character depending on which way the event goes, and it just shows us the evolution and change of that character. And I feel like that would it would draw me into have more of a connection with them if I saw their past, present, and future, not just the present that's going on right now that we're going through. I feel like that is something that makes a good character that a lot of gacha games just 100% fail to do. And I was talking about that because Legend of Zelda was probably one of the games that did it the best, that allowed you to play with Kid Link, and then you could play with teenage/young adult Link. And to me, back in the day when I experienced that for the first time, it absolutely blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. And then Mario did it with Baby Mario and, you know, Baby Yoshi, Baby Peach, all these other characters and stuff like that. Also was a very crazy thing to get to see Baby Mario for the first time on Yoshi's back. Like these things, it just made me feel connected to the character even more, because I got to resonate with a different aspect of them. Same character, different aspect. The very last thing that I am going to touch on before I end this video, and I thank everyone who has came this far, I really appreciate it, is going to be cultural and historical context. I myself, I think I've said this before in a couple other videos, but I am huge on lore developing, world developing, character developing, and stuff like that for myself. Like I like to create original concepts and theories and stuff, and I've done a lot of it, and I've done very deep work onto it, almost to the point where, I mean, honestly, I would say if I could do it full time, I could probably, with myself and my partner, we could probably have a book, like a true full fantasy book, out in about 2 to 3 years. If we just had full time to be able to work on it, we have everything fleshed out. So when it comes to cultural and historical context, the reason I was using that for an example is because we went into a deep dive to learn about 2 to 3 months worth of research on like 9 different cultures and history. And I cannot tell you how important it is to get those things right. Because my wife, she's Persian, and one of the backgrounds that I was learning about was Persian culture, Iranian culture, Middle Eastern culture, stuff like that. And it's so much more in depth than you see something at face value. It has the most minute things to like body language when you meet someone, like how you emphasize words in different ways to be respectful or disrespectful. The color of certain traditional clothing has to be close to precise, or it just doesn't symbolize and mean what it's meant to mean. Same thing with like food dishes and stuff like that, or like holidays or mythology and everything that goes along with this. So I was wrapping it up with this because it was the thing that I started with, where I said the characters Zhao and Ji Yan looked so similar. Well, both of these companies are Chinese. And in the Chinese culture, you have the Jade Dragon, which obviously is represented first and foremost by the color. So the color scheme of both of them, it's okay if they resemble something similar, because they're both paying tribute to something that already has its aesthetics and role to play within the world of that mythology and that culture. So looking at Zhao, and I just pulled it up right now, so that way I could be, straight on, because I don't play Genshin anymore, but I wanted to explain just this so maybe we can understand each other from both aspects, and don't look at the communities as like enemies or anything like that. Like, let us come together. We're all enjoying gacha games and different companies and stuff like that. Like, let's enjoy the characters in the right way. Zhao is one of the sole surviving member of the 5 foremost yakshas, dispatched by Morox to subdue demonic spirits that plagued Liu. So if you look at the Jade Dragon meaning, it is an emblem of power, of like strength, fortune, and auspiciousness. And it allows for auspiciousness, means like just the quality of encouraging like a good outcome. Like, just it's just like a sign of endearment, basically, like to show good outcome, to show good fortune, to go like strength and everything like that. And so Zhao represents a token of this. His character is a respectful way to portray that, and so is Ji Yan's. Ji Yan is a commander of the Midnight Rangers. He's in a powerful position as something that portrays a dragon, that respects that kind of jade color. We have that within his color scheme and his staff. We have the traditional like gold dragon painting on his clothing, and even his hair represents like spiky, with it being long like a dragon tail. Like, the spear also has the dragon around it when he uses his ultimate and abilities. It's all paying homage and respect to something that's already been there. A lot of characters in other video games that have come before Genshin, that has come before Honkai, that has come before Wuthering Waves, Tower of Fantasy, all these games, gacha games and stuff like that. Man, we've had these characters already. Like, we've copy and pasted this homage to this cool thing that is the Jade Dragon over and over again. And never have we had this problem before. Why now? Like, why is the community attacking something that's so insignificant like this? It just doesn't make any sense, because the character is respecting something. So by doing this stuff, you're just disrespecting the entire demeanor of it, and it just makes me upset that so many of these communities are just against each other. I hope that this video finds you, and I hope that you're able to at least listen to me, that I'm coming from a middle ground, and resonate with what I said about these character development and everything like that. And I think that's where I want to end this. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all in the next video.